Well, that last game ended in a surprising manner, didn't it? Was it a penalty? I don't know. You tell me what you think down below. But I'll tell you what, welcome in to another pre-game, the last pre-game of the year. Yep, it's been an amazing year. Promotion from League 2 to League 1. That was amazing. Prior to that, National League to League 2. Amazing. Now, sitting high in League 1. Amazing. And nobody would think that we'd have been doing so well at the start of the season, yes? Now, got one thing to say before we move along. I was involved in a accident, a crash. I got T-boned on Boxing Day. After the Wrexham game, believe it or not. T-boned, yes. So I got to say, I have to thank my insurance rep because he was such a funny guy. And he was laughing his arse off. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. I'm going to say his name. And he was from my insurance company representing me literally for this crash. And I got to say, Damebi Wachukwu. Yes, Damebi Wachukwu. He's a super eagle. Doesn't that sound good? Wachukwu? Yeah, Damebi Wachukwu. And he's a super eagle, which means he's a Nigerian fella. Right. So big out there to you. Yes, big out there to you. I told you I was. And I don't break my promises. But welcome in, everybody. I'll tell you what, we've got a few things to get through. We're going to go through the pre-game prediction, yes. We're going to go through the top 6 and League 1 matches. There's a lot of good things happening there, I tell you what. And things are getting tight in the top 6. And there's been a change. I said there'd be a change. And there's been a change at the top and the bottom of the top 6. You'll see all that as well. We're going to talk about the head-to-head, the stats and the head-to-head as well, and a whole lot more. So keep it here. And I say, it's the last show, so thank you, everybody, for being here every show, and especially at Christmas time, yeah? Big up to the guys that came to the show and latched onto it and had some fun with it at Christmas. Big up. We're going to be saying thank you to people as we go through. But let's get into this right now. I want to start it off, again, like the last show, upside down on its head, yeah? Let's go into the prediction and the betting odds to see where this is going to go. Welcome in, Latics fans. Welcome in, Red Dragons fans. I'm going to tell you a few things, what I'm thinking about this one, but this is the last show of the game. Like, subscribe, join the family. Now, let's get into the stats, the betting stats, and the score prediction. And I don't mean to piss you off. There's the lovely venue, the Stoke K Ras. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a magic game again, and we're looking at the odds of the draw first of all. Yeah, 5-2 right across the board is the odds for the draw. Now, looking for the road win for Wigan Athletic, well, that's 13-5. Not really bad odds at all. Those are good odds to put some money on for a road win. If you're looking for the home win, don't waste your money. It's 5-6. You got to put way more on to make way less. So, it's looking like the bookies are saying another home win. Let's take a look at the scoreline. I'm calling straight off the bat like I do always 2-0. That's what I'm looking at. If it goes really well for Wrexham, it could be 3-0. A good result on the road, I feel, for Wigan at the moment would be a 1-1, and I definitely do not see the 0-0. I'm calling for the 2-0. It could be a 2-1, but I'm calling for the 2-0, and it could be more. Okay, keeping this moving along. I told you that's the betting, that's the stats. Now, got to thank a few people before we move along. First one up is Grizzly1719. Also, big up, mate. Also, you got to listen to this. This is a super handle, man. I mean, this is a cool one. Divine Retribution 5743. Big up, my man. And Wilbur2 4897. Absolutely stunning, guys. I tell you what, keep it coming. Merry Christmas to everybody that answered up to the call of getting on in. It was a lot of fun to interact. And you know what? 2-1's what I saw. We were 93% last show, tipping on the season. Believe it or not, we're 93.25 now. Yes, you don't go up a lot when you're in the high 90s, but boy, when you start making bad calls and it starts to slide, it goes down faster than it went up. It's just like a team going for promotion, yeah? It really is. So, let's take a look at teams looking for promotion like Wrexham season, see what the season's like for the benefit of the Wigan fans. Big up to Latics fans. Get ready for a big game. It's going to be super. It's going to be a sellout. And we're taking a look at Wigan's season as well. And you've got to say, when you look into the colours of the Christmas tree, The yellow, the green, and the red, the draws, the wins, the losses, it tells a story. So let's get into that. I've got more stuff to tell you, like the top 4 teams. This is what I'm going to come back with. The top 4 teams, I'm going to give you their unbeaten streaks, just to tell you what's happening with them big 4 teams. And I'm not forgetting Stockport in 5th or Reading in 6th, but there's 4 teams going good. Let's take a look at the season stats from both teams right now and get ready for your new year. Oh yes, it's going to be a cracker. Yes. If you're here for the first time, or if you've been here before, as the sign says, I say please, please, please subscribe to my channel and help this grow. I've got a goal of 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please, 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 please put it around and let's get there fast. Now, let's take a look at Wrexham's season so far. Wrexham fans, you've been here before. Wigan fans, get ready. You're next. To the left, you can see how well Wrexham's doing so far. Only 3 losses on the season. Pretty damn good. This time last year, Wrexham League 2 in 3rd place, 40 points. Now, in League 1, 3rd place, 45 points, 5 points better, 1 league higher, and that's with all the injuries too. Amazing. Wrexham doing absolutely marvellous so far, 7 unbeaten. I tell you, you've got to say Wrexham is the favourite for this game. Let's take a look at Wigan Athletic. So the Latics, Wigan Athletic exclamation mark. That's the headline. What am I saying? I'm saying consistency is really the problem, albeit they're unbeaten in 3 recently, yeah? And they did have an unbeaten 6-game streak earlier in the season, but this is unbeaten in 3. 2 road wins, 1 home draw. Not bad. But that is not playing Wrexham. That's Rotherham, that's Bolton, and that's Shrewsbury. There's a big match coming up, I tell you now, for Wigan Athletic. A couple of the stats before we move along, though. League 1, 14th place, 7 wins, 6 draws, 8 losses, 20 goals scored, 18 against. As you can see, they failed to score, however, in 10 games. Last 5, get this, 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, 5-5 for the goals, 7 points from 15. Unbeaten in the last 3, as you know, 2 clean sheets in those 5, and that was Bolton 2-0, Rotherham 1-0, 4 home losses, 4 away losses on the season, so you don't really know where they're going to lose, but I'm saying this one should be the win for Wrexham. So there you go. There's the season stats on especially Wigan, because Wrexham fans are really interested about what's happening with those guys as they're coming into play at the Stoke Russ, yeah? So there's a lot of good information going in there. It's going to be a tough game. Listen, all season long, I said a few things about Wigan, but one of the things I repeated a few times was the fact that Sean Maloney has got a stingy defence. He's got them very well set up on the defence. If they could get something more productive on the front line, they'd be a bit of a better team to go up to maybe 6, 7 or 8. Right now they're stuck in 14th, and it's because of the lack of goals in the scoring column, 20 all season. But Sean Maloney, he's been there since January 2023, yeah? 101 games coaching in, 38 wins, 30 draws, 33 losses for 37%. He's a Mr. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 guy. He's going to hold the boat, but he's not going to take you to the glory land. So I think that unless they invest in players, and the academy's good at Wigan, always has been, but unless they invest in something, I don't see Wigan getting out of this league this year. So that's what I'm saying about that one. Also, I did say I was going to come back with the unbeaten streaks, yeah? You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Check this out for size. Let's start with number 1 team, Birmingham City. How many games do you think they're unbeaten? 6. Last loss was 3-2 against Shrewsbury, and that was when Chris Davies went absolutely berserk on his players. He was disgusted with that disturbing, as he put it, performance. So 6 unbeaten for Birmingham. Wycombe, yes, 19 unbeaten. You're going to be shocked when you hear this. That was a 3-2 loss to Birmingham the last time they lost. Yeah? Wrexham, 7 unbeaten. The last loss was Stockport 1-0 away. And finally, Huddersfield Town. This might interest you. This really will. How many games do you think they've been undefeated? because slowly over time, after a stuttering start where they had 4 losses at the early phase of the season, they're now replicating Wycombe in a way because they're 12 undefeated, 9 wins and 3 draws. And again, it was Birmingham that was the team that started the winning streak by beating them on the head of this. So there's some interesting stats about the top 4 teams, how they're unbeaten. Once again, Birmingham 6, Wycombe 19, Wrexham 7, yeah, and Huddersfield 12. Let's take a look at the games. And before we get there, I'm going to show you what's coming after this week's games with the next batch of games. Stick around. There's a lot more to come. So now we're going to take a look at the league and top 6 matches. So if you're here for the first time, this is what we do. Looking at the top 6, take a look. There's the league. You can also see the bottom end too. Now the games this weekend. There are all the games. And we're going to focus, as per usual, on the top 6. There are the top 6 teams at the moment. Remember, Reading were out of it 2 weeks ago. They've just got back in 6th. Now, Wycombe Wanderers on the road. Charlton Athletic, not really a scary place to go, but is it going to be the end of the Wycombe unbeaten streak, which, as you know, is at 19 games right now? Will it be game 20 that makes them pay? You never know. Stockport County on the road at Rotherham United. Stockport right now, the form is lopsy-dopsy, win-loss. It's not the best, and they're hanging on to 5th. They keep losing. They're going to go out of the top 6. Birmingham City 1-6 on favourites for the championship now, taking on Blackpool, who were just at Wrexham and gave Wrexham a tough game. Was it a penalty? Down below, guys. Was that a penalty? I don't know. Birmingham City should be getting the win there, should be staying on top of the league. Huddersfield Town doing great right now, staying in 4th. The form is great. They're on the up and up. Anybody slips up, Wrexham, they're going to take your place. Get ready for that, or keep playing as you are. Burton Albion coming in tells me Huddersfield's got another chance at 3 points. Reading, like I said, just back into the top 6, taking on Mansfield Town. Mansfield now resurgent form, 2 wins and a draw in the last 3, not 5 losses on the bounce. Yeah, Cloughey's got them turned around. I don't know if they're going to get the win, but favouring Reading to get something out of this one. And finally, 3rd place Wrexham taking on 14th place Wigan. Not as straightforward as you might think. Wigan, 20 goals scored, 18 against. Yes, a tight defence. Wigan +2 on the season, but languishing in 14th because they don't score many goals. Take Wrexham on the day. Oh, I tell you. Sometimes you're having too much fun when you're doing this, especially when you get Sada run off the road T-boned. Thank you, Damebi. Wachukwu. Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Gotta say, 3 things I give you each week. I'm going to give you them right now. The worst team in the league right now. You're not going to believe this. It's here on the board. I do the collation for you. But the worst team in the league, well, Wrexham just drew with them. 1-1. Bristol Rovers. Yeah, Bristol Rovers. Best team in the league? Well, it's Birmingham City right now. 15 points from 15 in the last 5. You've heard they're unbeaten in 6 in their unbeaten run of 6, which is going to go on and on and on. On the 6s, they're 1-6 against to win the title. Wycombe is 6-1 on to win the title. Wrexham 18-1 on to win the title. Those are hard numbers. Hard numbers, yeah. And the unbeaten streak, like I say, it is Wycombe with 19. And you can see this going on. You really can. But who's going to stop them? Is it going to be Charlton? You never know. You never know. I'm just waiting for a loss. Because as soon as they do, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a dip in form. Because if you look at the draws recently, it's kind of a few more draws than wins. So it's not the pressure. It's just the reality that eventually they're going to hit a little bit of a low form. And I don't mean draws a low form at all. So keep your eye on that. We've got 24 odd games to go. We're nearly halfway through, right? So it's getting to the interesting stage. And I got to say, Wrexham, we need to pick up max points in this game. Gotta have. Let's take a look now at the head-to-head all-time. And I think you'll be quite interested to see who's bossing this. So yeah, let's take a look at the all-time history between Wrexham and Wigan all-time. Let's take a look at the 5 historical results so far. Take a look at that. The first match, first win, first loss, bad day, best day. Remember, press pause, hold it there. We're moving along. Last 5, well, there's 4 of the last 5. Now, who's got bragging rights? Who has bragging rights? Well, there it is. Bragging rights goes to Wrexham after a 0-0 a year ago in the League Cup after a 4-2 penalty kick win, and there were 9,736 inside the Stoke Ras to see that game. Now, looking at the head-to-head all-time, who's won the most? Well, tell you what, let's start with Wrexham. How many wins has Wrexham had? 6 wins. How many draws? 8. How many wins has Wigan had all-time? Is it more than 6 or is it less than 6? Boom! It's 11. So there you go. Another team has the better record all time. But hey, maybe next game, Wrexham has the better difference. So there you go. There's the stats and stories. That's how it finishes. Yes, Wigan is bossing this one. But eventually it will return to the point where Wrexham does boss it again somewhere in another pairing of head-to-head. I hope you enjoy that, by the way. One thing I want to show you, though, and tell you is that when you're thinking of this season with Wrexham, I want you to think of amazing achievements over the year. The promotion, yeah, from League 2 to League 1 was something spectacular. It was something spectacular. It really was. I mean, I was wearing that all summer long. The National League promotion, yes, wearing that one too. I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm just going to say, at the start of the season, I said one thing. We need to finish as high as we possibly can. Because on the course of the season, a lot of things can take you from a lofty position and make you slowly go down. And those are like injuries, and those are like suspensions, and those are like fatigue, and those are like bad form. And sometimes you see that bad form with little productivity at the other end. So the season's a long thing. And it takes a long thing to get through 46 games. But eventually, like I said at the start of the season, we need to finish as high as we possibly can and then stock check where we're on, what we're at, and what we can then achieve. I fully believe that a playoff spot, like I said before, and I was calling for 5th to 6th, at best 3rd to 4th, that can be achieved. And we're looking certainly like a team that can have 3rd or 4th. I'd sooner have 3rd or 4th. 3rd preferably. But if it can be had, let's stay close to 1st and 2nd and grab 2nd spot. I don't really care about the title because 2nd spot for me as a Wrexham fan would be as good as a title. And that would be 3 promotions back to back if it happened. But there's a lot can happen between now and then, yeah? The injuries, the suspensions, it can all rack up. The bad form, we haven't had any bad form. So let's hope it doesn't come our way. And let's hope it comes the way of Wycombe, Birmingham, Huddersfield, Stockport, Reading, and the likes of, that we can then mount a charge for the final half of the season and literally pick away at it and watch other teams go into bad form. But I've got to say, this season, this year, has been absolutely phenomenal. I could pick 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6 major points. But I'm going to stay with the crowning glory of getting promotion on the final day from League 2 into League 1. It was something of a dream. I remember the crowd going nuts all over the field. I remember Rob and Ryan crying. I think a lot of people were. And it was a very emotional day. It was for me. If not for you, I hope this time coming through, it will be. And if you're a new Wrexham fan, just know that you're on a fantastic ride here and it's not going to end anytime soon. And I think we've got 2 very careful owners. They're not throwing money at it, but they're using money well. They're bringing sponsors in to pay the bills. And they're operating this club like a business. So it's a massive family. It's worldwide. It's connected. You know, there's no other story like it. And like I've said many times, this is the best story in football. There's no other story like it. Nothing can touch it. And when you consider that the likes of, say, your Real Madrids, your Bayern München, your Paris Saint-Germain, your Liverpool, your Manchester Cities, the Arsenals, they all play in front of tens of thousands of fans. And the racecourse ground is boasting, maxing out the 13,000, averaging 12,000 plus. It's something special. And if that stadium goes big, I got one question for you. If in the future the COP is finished and they want to up the attendance to maybe 20,000, do you think we can fill a 20,000-seater stadium week to week? Gotta say, it looks like a big picture and a good picture, a happy picture with happy days, and another big game coming to the Stokey Ras, yeah? And I'm really, really happy as a pig in shit, tell you the truth, with the way this club is moving, the way it feels, meeting and talking with you guys. And also, I've got to say, I literally do jump up and down when the game is on. I am buzzing every second. I'm buzzing for this game. I'm telling you right now, next year's coming. I got a good feel. And it's time to get that striker. Yeah? Maybe another keeper just to get things safe. Maybe another defender and that playmaker. I mean, I'm not being greedy. But if we're going to mount a charge, a little bit of bolstering, it'll bring us a long way, yeah? So, finally, I say this to you. Thank you, my friend, for being here all the way through. When I see the numbers that we're growing, it fills me with a lot of confidence and a lot of happiness and a lot of satisfaction for all that what goes on behind and what we push through this little lens to connect with each other, yeah? So it's happy days here. Hopefully, it's happy days with more viewers coming through. And remember, like, subscribe, push this around. And remember one thing. Wrexham, Wigan, Stokey Ras. Let's have it. Cheers! And yeah, as the picture says, thank you for your support. It really means a lot. It really does. Thanks, man. Cheers.